inside the original Magoo's Pizza Parlor in Menlo Park, California. Formerly known as Mother McCree's Uptown Jug Champions, the band now known as the Warlocks played their first show inside here on May 5th, 1965, at the little pizza parlor then known as Magoos, here in quiet Menlo Park. Now from the first time they stepped on stage, Jerry knew they were headed in the right direction. Bleeding blues into rock and roll, the Warlocks played louder and faster than anyone who had come and played here previously had. And apparently the Warlocks caused such a commotion that several of the attendees, well, they got up and started to dance. But they were quickly told by the management to knock it off, kids. Easy on reefer smoke and hyped up on the experience, the Warlocks chugged through Chuck Berry tunes like Memphis, Johnny B. Good, as well as Wooly Bully by Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs. But what really stood out were the blues numbers, especially on the rendition of Slim Harpo's I'm a King Bee. See, back in the Warlocks days, it was Pigpen's whiskey-soaked blues voice that was the focal point of the band, not Jerry Garcia's. And while Jerry still brought down the house using his finger-picking bluegrass skills on the electric guitar, it was Pigpen's vocals who carried the band. The Warlocks' first performance at Magoos, well, it left a lot to be desired. But the boys did well enough for the manager to invite them back to play again several more times that month. And it was during one of these epochal shows where, out in the crowd, Jerry Garcia spied this tall, gangly kid sporting a shaggy page-dew haircut. He'd known the guy from back in his days at the chateau. And wouldn't you know it, in through the front door of Magoo's breezed Phil Lesh. Jerry Garcia knew a musician when he saw one. And even though Phil's background was more trumpet playing and classical composing, Garcia knew he was serious. So that's why he sat Phil down in a booth right inside here and recruited him to be the new bass player for the Warlocks. See, the current bass player was Dana Morgan Jr., and it was his father who owned the store where the band practiced. But Dana Jr. was also straight-laced and definitely not down with the band's frequent pot breaks. So knowing Phil to be more hep, Jerry said goodbye to the free gear and practice space and cut Dana Jr. out of the band. And bringing Phil Lesh into the band was a stroke of genius on Garcia's part, because after the Beatles' appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show, music had started to shift, with the gentle folk music being phased out for the more vile rock and roll. But you see, it was more than that. There was an energy starting to form here in the Bay Area, specifically one that Garcia could feel himself, and he wanted to be part of that. Specifically, he wanted to create the music that would help foster and ignite this change, all while bonding its listeners. And to accomplish that, Jerry Garcia knew he needed to be surrounded by competent musicians who didn't mind getting a little weird now and again. Because at the end of the day, Jerry Garcia knew that playing with subpar musicians, it wasn't going to take him or anyone else further. And that's what it was all about back in 1965, going further. Back there, in the left-hand little corner, Jerry Garcia, Bob Weir, Bill Kreutzmann, Dana Morgan Jr., and Pigpen played for the very first time in their creation of a band named the Warlocks. The Warlocks eventually went on to change their name to none other than the Grateful Dead. But right here in this corner is a slice of history where the beginnings of the Dead truly started right here in this corner. And as I stand here talking to the camera, I have an energy buzzing throughout my body like it's very tough to describe, but you can feel a lot of energy coming out of here. Got special privileged access here inside the original Magoo's Pizza Parlor. So the band The Warlocks played for the first time and made history. And this is also where Jerry sat Phil Lesh down in one of the vinyl booths and recruited him to become the new bass player for the new band, the Grateful Dead. So we're over here in downtown Menlo Park here on a beautiful, sunny, warm, surprisingly warm November day, and we came to check out Magoo's Pizza Parlor here at 639 Santa Cruz Ave. This is the spot where the Warlocks played their first gig as a band, and they of course were a predecessor for the Grateful Dead. And we're really stoked because when we got here, saw this beautiful, beautiful rose right on side with a coming soon sign. Look at that. And I was out here doing my little thing, giving a talk, and the owner of the restaurant from next door came out and saw me, and he's like, "Are you here for, you know?" I was like, "I certainly am." I was like, "Well, just so you know, let me take you inside." So we got to go inside for a nice personal tour inside, behind the scenes, but they're also opening it up. They're revamping it back into the restaurant. I don't know if it's going to be Magoos or not, but whatever it is, they're keeping the history alive. Just so cool to be in there. I can still feel the energy. My body's still shaking, actually. So just a lot of energy going on right now. A lot of energy. I don't know if anyone else around me, they're all eating lunch and having some wine here. You might be having a different energy, but I'm sure stoked off my Grateful Dead energy, my Warlocks energy. So cool that they're keeping this alive. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Bay Area Babylon. Today, we are excited because we are going back into the original Magoo's Pizza, where the Grateful Dead, then known as the Warlocks, held their first official concert here up in Menlo Park. Now, we have special privilege from the owner, Ali, who's a fantastic guy. If you ever get up here to Menlo Park, be sure to stop by Bar Vita and his new place, Loretta, where Magoos used to be. Be sure and ask for Ali and say hi to him. Such a great character, but he's letting us in to take a special look here today at the original Magoos, and it's right through this door. All right, into where Jerry Garcia. All right, here we are, stepping into the original Magoo's Pizza, now known as Loretta. This is where Jerry Garcia, Bill Kreutzmann, Bob the Kid Weir, Pigpen, and of course Dana Morgan Jr., who was the original bass player of the Grateful Dead, played for the first time. And now, as you can see, it's been transformed into a beautiful, modern bar here that you can see it keeping the tradition alive. And it was right here, back over in this corner, where the Warlocks, the precursor to the Grateful Dead, right over in here, played up on a little stage at Magoo's Pizza Parlor for the first time back in May of 1965. And I'm not lying, I still feel that energy coursing through my veins anytime I step into this place, and I've had the fortunate opportunity to be in here a couple times, but yeah, right over in here, how cool. 50 years ago, this year, 2025, yeah. The Warlocks played here, my friends. Right here, in this corner for the first time, setting off a chain of events that nobody ever saw happening. Nobody. What they did here, right in this corner, right up on their little stage, changed the course of music forever. And now, it's back to being a restaurant, a beautiful one at that, and carrying on the tradition, and I'll show you the menu here, the bar menu in a second. You'll be seeing this corner of the restaurant for years to come. Just after talking with the owner, happy to say that they are going to be putting a very large, on the opposite end of that wall right there, they're going to be putting a very nice tribute to the Grateful Dead right here. Might be a Steal Your Face, might be a rose, might be, who knows, but it's definitely going to commemorate our boys in the band, our favorite band of all time. I shouldn't say boys because Donna was in the band. It's going to commemorate our favorite band right here, right on the opposite wall that they had their back up against when they were playing for the first time This Pigpen and Jerry chugged through all those blues songs. Yeah, right here. How cool is that? Beautiful job what they did with this place.